One of the most appealing things about shared universes and long-running franchises is the comfort and familiarity in an extended storyline that can have payoffs years down the line, just as Infinity War managed so masterfully. Knowing there's continuity helps us all really engage with the characters and makes their eventual fates far more impactful, so it's not just about money spinning. And that continuity is precisely why film studios consciously employ people to look after continuity editing to make sure all of the seams knit together perfectly. Unfortunately, people still make mistakes, and we wouldn't be the insatiable nerds of the internet if we didn't take a few minutes every now and then to have a little bit of fun at the expense of those moments in one film which are just totally ignored in the seconds. With that in mind, I'm Will from WhatCulture.com, and this is 7 sequels that forgot the end of the last movie.
Hey, just quickly to pop in before the list actually starts, I just want to talk to you about That Film Theory. If you don't know what that is yet, it's a brand new channel that's going to be about video essays, cinematic experiences, a bit more relaxed approach. Hopefully we'll see you there. You can find the details down below.
Number 7, The Avengers. At the end of Thor, there's a post-credits scene that reveals that Nick Fury is in possession of the Tesseract, but more importantly, that Loki is alive and mind-controlling Dr. Selvig. But then, Loki has to use the scepter to mind-control Selvig at the start of the Avengers. If he was already controlling Selvig, did he even need the scepter in the first place? Sure, it's not a huge deal, but it goes to show that even the meticulous planning of the multi-billion-dollar MCU has let a few continuity hiccups slip by. Number 6, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. After restoring the children to their normal everyday sizes at the end of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Wayne is shown hosting a Thanksgiving dinner with his neighbours, whose centrepiece is a huge turkey that the scientist has clearly zapped up in size for the occasion. To confirm it wasn't just a huge mutant turkey, family dog Quark is also shown eating an enlarged biscuit as well. However, the sequel revolves around Wayne still attempting to develop an inverted version of his shrink ray technology to make things grow in size. When the film opens, he's still struggling to master technology that he apparently perfected at the end of the last film. Not that Honey, I Blew Up the Kid is a masterpiece anyway, but getting these little things right would have at least made it feel like less of a cash grab by the studio. Number 5, XMen Apocalypse. In the post-credits scene for X-Men Days of Future Past, Wolverine is fished out of the river by what appears to be Major Stryker. By the look of it, he's going to be headed right back to the Weapons X program, but as Professor X's voiceover talks about changing the tide and the future not being truly set, it turns out that Stryker is in fact Mystique in disguise. She says, "I'll take him from here," suggesting she has her own plans for Wolverine, and the scene ends. But then, in X-Men Apocalypse, Wolverine is still on the Weapons X program, having been brainwashed by the real Stryker, as he was in the original timeline. So, what exactly happened? Well, nobody knows, not even the filmmakers. Number 4, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. As the climax of Captain America: The First Avenger closes in, Cap and the Howling Commandos go on their daring mission to arrest Arnim Zola, only for Bucky to apparently die when he's thrown from the Hydra train. Cap still manages to arrest Zola though, and we see him in custody, where information on Hydra's last stronghold is interrogated out of him. But when it comes time to explain what happened to Bucky when he was transformed into the Winter Soldier in the sequel, it's revealed that Arnim Zola was somehow free to start Bucky's reprogramming at Hydra's secret science base, despite being in custody at that precise moment. He oversees the Winter Soldier procedure as if he was never arrested at all. Number 3, Back to the Future Part 2. In the infamous final moments of the original Back to the Future, Doc Brown comes back from the future in his newly flying DeLorean and tells Marty he has to come with him to deal with something in the future. Putting aside Marty's concerns about his own future by confirming they turn out just fine, Doc says they should take Jennifer along as it concerns her too. With that, they all depart for the future and the film ends. However, one of the first things that happens in the sequel is Doc immediately going back on his decision to bring Jennifer, and instead of allowing her to ask questions, he simply neutralizes her with his sleep-inducing alpha rhythm generator. So that's one detail Jennifer's importance conveniently forgotten, and it's not the only one. What about Marty injuring his hand in a car crash and having to give up his dream to work for a boss who hates him? That apparently qualifies as him turning out fine. He absolutely does not turn out fine. I'm all for optimism, Doc, but that's a bit of a stretch. Number 2, Avengers Age of Ultron. Tony Stark retires as Iron Man at the end of Iron Man 3. Or at least, he retires from wearing the suit and making lots of armour. This comes after he enacts the Clean Slate Protocol and wipes out the Iron Legion, and while he restates the fact that he is Iron Man even without his suits, there's no avoiding the fact that he retires. But by the start of Avengers Age of Ultron, not only is Tony unretired, but he's also working on an Iron Legion again, this time drones rather than alternate suits, as if nothing that happened at the end of Iron Man 3 really even mattered. Number 1. The Justice League. At the end of Batman v Superman, after their final dramatic battle, both Superman and Doomsday succumb to their injuries and basically die in each other's arms. Superman has 2 funerals and his body is laid to rest, presumably forever. But then we get that ominous shot of the dirt on Superman's coffin beginning to levitate, suggesting that he's actually not dead at all. He only lay at peace for a matter of minutes and would surely be back once he'd recharged, right? Well, the sequel simply ignores the fact that Superman appeared to be alive in his coffin, instead making it necessary for the Justice League to take him to the downed Kryptonian scout ship and revive him in the same way Doomsday was created in the previous movie. So what was with the floating dirt? Boy, I hope someone got fired for that blunder. And there you have it, folks, a list poking a bit of fun at the times filmmakers apparently forgot the endings to their own movies. Share any others you've got in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. This is Will for What Culture, and thanks for watching.